Hello everyone, welcome to the NN Classroom. Today I'd like to share with you a biology multiple choice again from 2018 time zone 2 in May. Question number 9. Another standard class of question now is going to be asking more and more frequently, which is what we call experimental type question. No matter multiple choice or in paper 2, short response or essay type question, the trend is that the IB is now wanting to test on students with more about the experimental skills instead of just a knowledge-based question asking. So that's why this is another really typical type of question that is going to be popped up more and more frequently, right? So they're asking for what is a requirement for accurate measurement. That means the success of this experiment is that we want to take a more accurate measurement of the rate of respiration using a respirometer. First of all, respirometer is an apparatus that we have learned from topic 6 related to how we can measure various types of lung volume by using these apparatus respirometer, right? Which is one of the really important prescribed experiments according to the IB syllabus. Yeah. The importance of this respirometer is that for this experimental design, for us now, is that we want to make an accurate measurement. Right? So one of the measures in the following choice would able to provide us with an accurate measurement. Let's see. Now, A, CO2 must be absorbed by water so that only O2 production is measured. This is totally a wrong statement because the respirometer measure both the breathing in and breathing out in terms of the pressure change and so related to the volume display. So that's why no matter we breathe in and breathe out, the gas is really important. So we never allow any gas to be absorbed by any solution so as to reduce the measurement or just reduce the accuracy. So in this case, CO2 must be absorbed by water. This is a totally wrong statement because the aim of respirometer is not aiming to take the reading of how much O2 is consumed or not, but instead trying to look for different types of lung volume. Look for, remember function, look for various lung volumes, right? So that's why if you ignore the volume of CO2 going to be produced, that is not fair for us to measure the lung volumes. So A is wrong. B, temperature must be kept constant so that the volume changes are only due to O2 use. This is a correct statement because this is something to deal with a really important concept when setting up an experiment is that a lot of things need to be controlled in order to get an accurate measurement. So here from this perspective, the knowledge or concept behind is that for us to have an accurate measurement during any experiment, we should ensure the controlled variables are well controlled. That means we need to try to make sure that all the controlled variables are those that must be kept constant, are need to well controlled or maintained or manipulated all the time so that the measurement is going to be more fair and we can try to repeat the experiment and compare the trials more effectively and more convincing to the readers, right? So that's why in this case, note that temperature is one of the what we call controlled variables. So I call it CV. So CV means controlled variables, right? So that's why this controlled variable must be kept constant. So will be a better situation because especially temperature is heavily affecting the expansion of the gas, right? So that's why for the same types of lung volume, if we measure or if we conduct the experiment under higher temperature, the reading may fluctuate even bigger. But this is not we want, as this is a controlled variables. We don't want any temperature change in influencing the experimental result. So that's why temperature is a controlled variable, must be kept constant. So try our best to keep constant. So that's why B is the correct choice. But let's see how C and D also incorrect. C, anaerobic organisms are better to use than aerobic ones as they produce larger volume changes. This is totally wrong because the factor affecting how much volume is going to be produced or consumed is not controlled by whether the organism is going to be aerobic or anaerobic, right? Instead, many other factors are influencing, including like the size of this organism and also like the metabolic rate of this organism, but not anything about whether the organism do anaerobic or aerobic. So that's why C is actually a wrong concept. Finally, D. Warm-blooded animals are better to use than cold-blooded animals as they do not change the temperature of the container. Again, the ultimate aim is correct because we don't want to change the temperature, but very important, it is not about the organisms or the animals that are warm-blooded or cold-blooded that can be better in controlling the temperature inside container, because as long as you are animals, they must be doing respiration, and as you do respiration, you must be releasing heat, no matter you are warm-blooded or cold-blooded. The real meaning behind warm-blooded and cold-blooded is talking about a homeostasis concept. Homeostasis means internal balance. That means these organisms, when compared warm-blooded and cold-blooded, they are just different in terms of controlling their own inside metabolic temperatures, but not outside affecting the container, right? So which means no matter you use warm-blooded or cold-blooded animals, still they will emit the heat radiation or the infrared radiation. So that's why they will both lead to the change in the temperature of the container if they are surviving, right? So that's why this is totally a misleading concept that wants the student to having an idea and think like that, oh, warm-blooded can maintain stable temperature, so it's better. It's true, but just maintaining stable temperature within the organism, but not maintaining the same temperature for the overall experimental setup. So that's why this is totally a true statement but lead to a wrong conclusion, so still a wrong concept. So that's why D is not acceptable. So for this case, the true answer goes to B.